kids obsess over setting themselves apart. They put pink hair, white hair. They do things that like make them unique. Our kids are already unique.
Yeah.
And so then, but it's like finding that balance of like, yeah, not making it your identity, but like also like lean into what God gave you.
Okay. Checking. 1, 2, 3. Hello.
That screen popped out of that window. All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Raising Heights, where we are raising the bar.
Were we? No,
we're not.
We're not. We're lowering it, actually.
We're lowering it.
So Zach can reach. This is where we all get new perspectives.
Or we just rant and rave about something.
Or we just rant and rave, which is usually what ends up happening.
Yeah.
I'm Tori.
I'm Zach.
And thank you for being here.
Yep. We always do a peek and pit to open the episode.
Peek and pit.
Question, by the way, should we be opening, like, should we add another sort of segment to the peek and pit? Is pretty constant, but outside of that, should we be adding more like constant segments?
That would be fun.
Like something. I don't get my point.
Do you know
something
what
that we do every episode, and then we have the content.
Do you know what I need right now is a segment of what to watch. What are you watching? What to watch?
Yeah, see, that's perfect.
I need a new show in my life.
Yeah.
What are you guys watching? What do I watch?
Yeah, see?
Because Outlander comes out next month, which, waiting for that. Bridgerton doesn't come out until 2026. What do I watch?
What do you watch?
What are you watching?
Or read.
Or read. Guys, can I just say I love a good friends to lovers tale. If anyone out there has a good book, hit me up.
Your friend Monique, I feel like.
I know Monique reads so much. Yeah. Also, she listens to this podcast all the time. So what's up, girl?
Yeah.
What are you reading right now?
I'm not. I need to read. I need to read in my life.
But still, what's the argument? Is reading or listening to an audiobook the same as reading?
Yes, it is.
In my mind, it is.
You're still retaining the same information.
Probably better than if I was reading it. I'm retaining the information.
Yeah, I need to read. I can't listen. I need to read.
I did laundry this morning and listened to a book, and I was more productive in both aspects of my life because I was listening to a book.
Yeah, interesting. Peek and pit. What's your pit?
Pit. Can I just say, sometimes I know this is such a privilege, blah, 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 but it is hard sometimes to show up on social media when your skin is absolutely at its worst.
Is that why you're all kind of bumming today?
No, I'm not like bumming over it. It's fine. I'm in my 30s and I don't actually care. But like, it's like, I'm like a teenager again. This is back when I was like 19 years old. And I'm kind of like, what's going on? My skin is awful. So that's been fun. That's been my pit.
I think you look great, Tori.
Well, thank you.
Is that why you've been bumming though?
I'm not bumming. What are you talking about? I'm not bumming.
Oh.
I'm just low energy today. I'm like, I just want to be in my sweats and just chill. What's your pit?
Yours is super depressing. Why do you feel like that about yourself?
Well, it's hard when you have to like show up on social media.
My pit now is you feeling pity.
Pity. No, it's one of those things though that like when you get older, you actually don't care because no one ever actually makes fun of your skin. No one ever actually cares if you have acne. Like when you're a teenager, I feel like that's all you think about. You're like, oh, that's all they're looking at right now. But I feel like I have this confidence in my 30s that I don't actually care.
Okay, and I like that you don't obsess over yourself looking perfect every single day for 6 hours.
Yeah.
You do look perfect, but I'm saying like you get what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like you don't
there's
like
a time and place
do a
for
bunch of other stuff.
Yeah.
Every single day that takes millions. You're authentic.
Well, thank you, hun. That's so nice of you.
So stop moping around today.
You asked what my pit was, and I'm just telling you that my pit is that I have to wear makeup today because I have horrible acne. So that's been fun. What's your pit?
My pit is I have to go to the dentist on Thursday. I hate the dentist.
Oh, and you have to like be put out for
I know. I have to get like drugs and get put out.
What are you doing on Thursday?
I think it's just like an intense cleaning, like an intense one.
Guys, can we put a PSA out there right now? Right now. I went through what Zach is about to go through. Did you do half of it already?
No. I've done all this. This is my second time
Oh
around
my
now.
gosh, Zachary.
Yeah.
You didn't learn the first time?
No, like I've gotten regular cleanings in between, but now like this is like.
So I had to do a, what do they call it? Like a deep clean where they like numb you up because it actually is in your gums. And I will never repeat that experience. I go to the dentist now every 3 months.
I feel like I do too. Or I skipped one because we were going somewhere.
You do not go as often as I do. I call you out. I call your
I can't
bluff.
stand the dentist. The dentist.
Me either. I hate the dentist. I love you, Jen, but I hate the dentist.
I'm going to the dentist on Thursday, so I'll be knocked out all day.
Yeah.
I won't be able to function.
But Thursday could also be really fun, though. We could end up going to Eastern Washington / Idaho.
We're not doing that.
We're not doing that?
We're not doing that.
No, we're totally doing that. I think we're doing it. We're doing it. Get out of here. It would be so fun.
I thought we already crossed off.
I want to go see Molly and Joel, and
that's a lot of driving, and we have soccer on Friday.
Such an adventure. Anyway, we don't need to talk about that right now.
We might be going to Idaho.
Okay, what's your peak?
My peak is I'm getting the property ready for the rain. Some weird thing about me, this is super irrelevant to everyone, but when our creek fills up, like when the water starts coming, our creek is seasonal, so there's no water in it right now. When it fills up I love it. I have a record, like my notes. I have a note in my phone that records every time, the first time our creek fills up every year.
Do you remember, have you ever gotten it on video with the creek?
No.
Okay. No. Mary from 5 Marys.
Oh, yeah.
She has this video. Have you seen this video?
I think you showed me it. Yeah.
Because they also have a creek of some sort they have huge property, but she got it on video, their creek starting. Like the first
Wait, was
wave.
it starting or were they opening a...
Well, okay, if you take away that might be less dramatic. She might have been being
I don't know.
The video
I just know they're farmers, they're ranchers,
You're right.
and they can open up the canals.
I totally could have fallen for the clickbait there, but I fell for it hard because that was a freaking cool video, and I've been telling you ever since, you need to get the first wave of our creek starting because that would be
that'd be way cool. But like to predict that is so hard. I've been out there where I'm like, surely it's filled up now.
It's today,
and there's nothing, and then one day we wake up, it's sunny like this, and then it's filled up.
It's raging.
Yeah. So my point is, and I don't even know where this creek starts. Like I don't know what.
One of these days, I guarantee you're going to find Zach upstream somewhere, just following.
We don't have a huge mountain next to us, so it's like there's not. It's very difficult to predict.
Yeah.
My point is, anyway, you're distracting. My peak is the creek. I've got it all cleaned out from leaves and stuff like that, and I'm super stoked for that time of year on the property. It's not necessarily my favorite time of year in general, but my favorite time of year on our property is right now, the fall time, and the next 2 weeks when the rain first starts coming, and just watching how everything reacts and like settles. And
there you go.
Yeah, I'm very in tune with our property.
You really are
spiritually.
It's a spiritual experience here. But you've also done a good job with our kids out there. Our kids love going out there and weed whacking and just being nuts.
Today we saw them copying me with the sand.
I know, so cute. I wish I got that.
I added a bunch of grass seed back a couple weeks ago in October, or this is October. I don't know when this episode airs. It'll probably air in November. Anyway, in the beginning of October, but they were out with their sand.
I know,
and
so cute.
They were clearly mimicking me.
It was so cute.
Yeah,
they watch everything that we do. It's so cute.
Super cute. What's your peak?
Ooh, my peak is we went to a LPA event up in Olympia, which was so fun at LPA Puget Sound. I don't know how often they've been doing it, but for the last 2 years, they rent out the Children's Museum up in Olympia for all of LPA, or like all of the, what is it, district? LPA?
District or chapter.
Chapter.
But if you're going and you're not part of that chapter, so district.
District. I don't know what it is, but they rent it out for only LPs. And it's amazing. It's so much fun. So we got to go up there and see friends. Lila had her 2 little friends that came along.
I love that Lila has 2 little friends.
And they're so, like, we've talked about this before, but I truly believe that they would be friends even if they didn't have dwarfism. Yeah. They'd just get along. They play well together because there's some kids that Lila doesn't play well with. And
Yeah.
They're friends with us, and so we're like, well, just make it work until whatever. But
That's
like,
awesome.
it's not these two particular relationships are not one that I would like encourage or discourage. Like, they actually really like each other.
Oh, I got yeah. Okay, yeah.
Which is fun.
That's awesome. You had a good time?
We had a great time. We
I love
missed
that you bring
Jackson.
them.
Jackson would have had fun.
Yeah, but I like that you bring them to those events.
But also, I'm kind of glad Jackson didn't go, because Jackson just brings a new energy.
Yeah.
There was a lot of cute little girlsies there. Jackson just brings a lot of energy. So
a lot of boy energy.
A lot of boy energy. But his friends would have enjoyed seeing him there.
Yeah. I'm so sorry. I take all my peaks back.
Oh, what?
I was such short-sightedness of me.
Oh, yeah.
I just literally talked about
literally always the yard.
Well, no, I just talked about what I did today and what I thought about today. My peak was taking Jackson camping with the Mueller boys.
Hello.
Yeah. I was like, why weren't
Zach wanted to do the entire episode solely on this camping trip.
Yes. Beg your pardon. Sorry. Restart the episode. I forgot. Once you said the Children's Museum, I'm like, why wasn't Jack? Oh, wait. We went camping.
Yeah.
We went epic camping with our friends, the Muellers, and all three of his boys.
You should check out their YouTube video because it's so cute.
Yeah. And okay, fast forward real quick. We came back. He makes these YouTube videos from these day adventures that we go on, or the camping adventures. And then looking back at the first time we did this with Jackson at the same campsite with his boys catching fish was epic. So epic good. Beyond belief.
It was so
also
cute.
Just camping. Like, it was traditional Pacific Northwest fall camping. We got there at like 9:30 at night because he had his game on Friday. So then we left right after the game, get there at 9:30. The Muellers have already been there for 2 days. And then, we set up our tent in the rain. The next morning, we go fishing first thing, no breakfast. None of the boys complain.
That's awesome.
We just go straight up there, fish. Didn't catch any. HUD caught something the day before. Anyway, we didn't catch anything. Go back down, make a fat bacon, egg, just huge scramble, burritos for everyone, water, and then finish breakfast, go back up.
So good.
It was just an epic boys camping trip.
So good. Jackson's so down for any of those adventures all the time.
Well, and the Muellers too. He's so down with the Muellers.
Oh yeah.
It's boy family. They have 3 boys, no girls, and they're just that energy and that just they're all on the same wavelength hard.
I love it.
He's honestly there's not a lot of groups that there's someone else that maybe brings more testosterone to the group than him. Okay, so it's super fun.
That's so fun.
And also just reconnecting with Mueller. We obviously don't see him as much, but him and I reminiscing about old times, and it was
I'm so glad you guys got to go. That looked like so much fun.
Epic weekend.
But why didn't you bring Lila?
Mueller wanted me to bring Lila so bad. And I said, that's not going to happen.
She could not have hung on that. Well, she could have, but not to their
Mueller's a boy
standard.
Dad. Mueller loves Lila. She thinks she's the cutest thing ever. But he's a boy dad, okay? He does not understand all the ins and outs, okay?
I don't know though. Lila
can hang, but not the way
she can hang until she can't.
And
that's where you get a little dicey.
We camp out in the boonies.
Yeah.
Like rocks. We're all wet the entire time. The tent's wet, we're wet, the clothes are wet, the shoes are wet, everything's wet. The food is just the food, whatever we have. There's no picking the food.
Yeah.
We fish, worms, mud. If you get wet, too bad. We're up at this lake. I think Jackson and one of the other boys got their feet wet. Too bad.
Yeah.
Done. Like, we're not going back. Like, we don't even have to say this to the boys. It just happened. We're not going back.
Yeah.
Like, you just have to deal with it.
So wild.
So I will bring Lila one day. And
Josiah. So I will rage out there.
Well, looking back at that video that Mueller did, Jackson was like 3 or 4. Yeah. And so Lila's turning 5. So she definitely deserves a camping trip, but I think it can't be this.
It just has to be a little more low-key.
And it can't be this. We can take her camping. I can take her camping.
I took her camping over the summer, and she did great. She was so great.
In a very different campsite.
Yeah.
Summertime, not raining, all the things.
Yeah.
Josiah, on the other hand, would be raging.
Josiah is, he would fit right in.
He would fit right in.
He'd be pissed he couldn't, keep up with everyone.
Yeah. Or he would just want every sharp item that they all play with. So anyway, it was a super fun time.
Well, good. I'm glad. It was fun.
Then we came back and just raged.
Oh. Anyway.
So It was good.
Oh,
It was good,
man.
good.
Well, what do we want to talk about today?
I don't know. I figured we could just ask each other some questions. Like,
Okay. Well, I have a question then,
okay.
because October just is ending. By the time this episode comes out, it will be over. And October is Dwarfism Awareness Month.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why don't we ever share about Dwarfism Awareness Month?
I don't know. I just have something weird about it. Like, I just don't.
This is such a loaded question that I don't know if you're prepared for, but I started thinking about it because a lot of our friends share about Dwarfism Awareness Month, but I have to like say it's a lot of like my average height friends that share about it.
See, I follow a lot of LPs that share about it.
Do you? Okay, maybe that's my problem then. Maybe I don't follow enough LPs. But I think that because I think I get that question a lot from people, and it can be very like not intimidating, that's the wrong word, but it can be like can catch me off guard, I guess, when like
becoming a thing now, which is I don't like. It's not like I intentionally didn't. I just never was that's the thing. Like I just grew up not.
I think that's why I asked the question, because I want to like clarify that it's not that Zach and I intentionally don't share about Dwarfism Awareness Month. That's absolutely not it.
Yeah, it's not like we intentionally do, but don't. Like just never something that I'm not like that to begin with. Regardless of like I don't change my Facebook page to a Ukrainian flag, or like the idea of a Pride Month isn't like
we don't put our focus into one thing at all time. Like I think some people can kind of tend to do that sometimes when they see things like Ukraine, Dwarfism Awareness Month, whatever it is, they do like tend to put all of their focus there for the moment. And sometimes I think you and I struggle to do that. Like we don't always.
And it's just like it's definitely Dwarfism awareness is awesome. I think there's a lot of different ways you can show awareness.
Yeah.
Sometimes
I think you showing up on social media is awareness.
Yeah, sometimes talking about it too. Like I have a lot of friends that I'm not super immersed in LPA and have I have LP friends, but like some of these people, like that's what they do on their spring break, summer break, winter, like they go see their LP friends, which is totally awesome. I was never really like that. Or I just never was that. I was connected to LPA through DAAA. I love the sports.
Right.
And then everything else was cool. But I just have a lot of friends also that don't, like, I don't know if posting about it would be like, they all know me. There's no awareness about it. Like
when you post about it though, too, I think sometimes at least I tend to forget that when I post things, like people in my like immediate life, every day, whatever, they see all of it. And so if you post something like that, sometimes I think those people can be a little more like aware of something that maybe you don't need to bring awareness to for personally. Like you're bringing awareness for others to like be educated and know about LPs. But when I post something about dwarfism or whatever, I think sometimes my friends can tend to be like, are you okay? Like, do you need to talk about it?
Yeah.
Or for me, I'm like, when I put stuff on my social media, it's more to like educate other people. And so that's why sometimes I shy away from it, because I'm like, well, I don't really want my friends to be like, Tori, are you okay?
My education too is like, don't be dumb, don't be rude, and
do you think it's fair to say, this is going to come out sounding very strong, but like you don't need LPA?
No, because I think the older I get, like I realize more of the benefits of it. Like there are like I can't hang out. I can go to LPA and hang out with other LPs that I have nothing in common with, politically, religiously, sports, anything, and feel very comfortable. I can't do that in any other setting. So no, I do see the older I get, I realize that more and more. Like here, like I kind of have to have something in common with you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like no, LPA, I can go sit in a lobby, in a social setting, and literally talk to a ton of different people that again don't really have. Some of them I do. Like it's not everyone. You know what I'm saying? But like, and it's like because just honestly, the fact that we both have dwarfism, so I definitely see the benefit there, and like I don't think I need it if it just went. We wouldn't go to LPA, I think, without the kids.
So
If we didn't
that
have the
was gonna be my
kids,
next question is
yeah.
like, don't you think for us, like when I first met you, you didn't want to bring me to any LPA events. You didn't want me to go to DAAA. Like you were very kind of on the, like you went, did soccer, came home.
Yep.
But ever since I feel like you've met me, I'm kind of like, well, hold on. This is kind of fun. Like it's kind of fun to like form connections with people and have conversations with people that I
think I had my own
normally
insecurity.
have.
That was my own insecurity,
But I feel like now that I feel like I've kind of brought you back into LPA to be like, let's go hang out
now
for
you
our
go to
kids'
LPA.
sake.
You go to LPA.
I know now I go to LPA without you,
Yeah.
but it's for our kids. Because what if one day our kids are very into it? Like we want it to be there.
Totally.
And
I want to give it an option to our kids, even though like I like it is. We've talked about LPA though. It's very expensive. It's very this. It's very that. It could be very consuming because it is so takes so many resources to do that every year. You know what I'm saying?
Totally.
Mentally, it's consuming. You have convention depression afterward. I had that multiple years when I came home from a convention. I was like depressed for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's where I think that's where I'm nervous with LPA because I don't want that to be the reality for our kids. Because I think, yes, LPA is very important and making connections with people in that way is very important. And obviously I'm very privileged because I don't have dwarfism and who gives me the right to talk about this, but I don't want our kids to obsess over it. Like your reality is here.
Yeah.
Your reality is not going to these conventions for a week at a time where, you know, you're surrounded by people with dwarfism. That's not reality. That's a very cool experience that you can go and have, but it's not reality.
No, 100%. So anyway, or back to the thing of dwarfism awareness. Like, like, hey, it's Dwarfism Awareness Month.
Yeah.
You know, October 25th is...
It was over October 31st, but it happened.
No, October 25th, though, is like Dwarfism Day.
Oh.
Like, that's the day.
That's in 3 days from now.
Yeah, that's the day, like,
see,
and then the whole month. You know, and then a lot of people, dwarfism, like, share facts and about dwarfism.
Which I think is absolutely important. And we have done that in the past, for sure. Like I've done that in the past, like on Instagram, ask questions, like what questions do you have about dwarfism? And
yeah, I don't know. I now like it's a thing now, so maybe I should, but like I don't share a lot of stuff though.
You don't
like,
share anything. You share soccer.
That's the thing. Like this is not like I post every single day and then all of a sudden like I don't post.
He had like a squirrel saga for a minute.
Yeah, okay.
He shares about his grass.
Like yeah, so it's just I don't know, but also like I do think like some of it, like, how much is it? Honestly, again, the people that need educating aren't following me. They aren't following you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the problem, though, too, in the world. That's why I don't, like, get too upset when someone is just a jerk. It's like, because, you know, honestly, the people that do need or you know better, you truly know better, you're just choosing, and I'm not going to then get affected by someone that just intentionally chose to be rude, mean, or whatever else. Like, it's to the 21st century. You know what I'm saying? Again, there's tons of like Disney Channel. Back to the Seven Little Dwarfs.
Oh my gosh,
or
Zachary.
Seven Dwarfs. Okay, Snow White. If they made that movie with real dwarfs and put it on Disney Plus, there's every single child, most children in the United States could say, I've seen someone with dwarfism, whether in person or like an actual person with dwarfism, not some CGI. So it's like, I don't know. For me, it's like, and if you still like, it's someone with Down syndrome. Like, if you're saying you've never seen someone with Down syndrome or you're acting that way once you've seen them, you know what I'm saying? Then you're just like, all the awareness in the world can't change you. The world needs to change to push those people out if you're going to be, or they live their life, but it's like, and we all make our moral choices, you know?
And I think that's the biggest thing right there is whether you choose to talk about it or not, it doesn't mean that we don't support it or we do. Like, we absolutely support LPA and think it's amazing. We go every year. And I think that's why I sometimes get caught off guard by it all is because I'm like, I go to these events and I go every year to LPA. So of course I'm in support of it. You know,
I think they like the group setting of LPA, but like also like, like, let's be real, like politically, they don't really line up with us religiously. Like, it's not our, you know, like a lot of the people there, like we don't.
This is just because the organization it doesn't mean that the people don't. Like, there's people that are within the organization.
There's people within, but I'm saying in general, the vibe and like it is a certain type of people. Like,
but I also hold on. That's also why I kind of like LPA sometimes, though, because I feel like one of the few places that you can still go with a mass amount of people and not talk about religion and politics.
Okay,
And you can still
right.
just like be like, I feel like that's so
Sorry,
hard in
yeah.
today's age. But like, I feel like going to LPA, it's like everyone just puts that aside and like, let's just get along for a week and have fun, which is my favorite part about it all.
Totally. I guess again, I follow probably more actual LPs,
Yeah.
older generation too, and like I don't know. There's also just issues within that, like uh, cultural issues, cultural wars, whatever you want to call within the organization, specifics about like the M word or this or that,
Yeah.
and then like I'm like I don't really agree. Like, all right, I disagree there too. Like I see some things different there as well. Like,
Right.
and all of a sudden I'm like, man, like okay, besides the dwarfism side, I can all hang out with everyone, but like so it's like also like I don't really line up too much in a lot of spaces there, which is fine.
Yeah.
But it's like and then, you gotta have some connection
Right.
beyond and just because you have dwarfism doesn't we're not all friends.
Right.
So it's
We don't all like you guys don't all know each other.
yeah.
That's my favorite question when we're in public and they're like, "Oh, do you know Johnny so and so from so and
That's the
so?"
thing,
And you're
like,
like, "No,
if you ask me the 5 biggest, like, things going on in LPA, like, culturally or, like, conversations or, like, issues, I probably don't see eye to eye
Mm.
on like, I can't say I'm 100% in support of that side of the position.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that, so then it's like, all right, I'm kind of like a loner here. I'm weird or I'm already
You are
weird
weird.
and like and now I'm like I'm weird in this cult or this group too. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
but anyway, we go for our kids though because there's medical
Well, and
benefits.
and like
There's
the Dwarfism Awareness Month thing though too. I think that it's just I feel like I've been there, done that, and so
I pushed the DAAA video hard.
I know
The
that was
DAAA came out
epic.
with a video and that we just put it out for this month. Like that
Epic.
was my so it's like that was my
They had that Zach's contribution.
well
Sports. Sports teams.
I didn't do much, but I had to convince everyone budget wise, like, hey, this is
I think
worth
it was
it.
such a good.
And
Oh
like
my gosh,
I
that
had to like
video.
baby it a
If
little
you guys
bit.
have not watched this video yet, I will share it again on my social media when
I
this
need to
comes
share it,
out. It's
honestly.
so good. Well, people follow me, so
I know. See, I don't
I'm
even
just
share
kidding.
that.
I'm
I
just
like
kidding.
did a whole
He literally
I
goes,
didn't
Tori, can you just put this on your Instagram?
I wouldn't say I produced it. I didn't direct it, but like I would say I produced it. Like I convinced the people for the funding, got the videographer, had some
What was his
creative
name? Andorf?
Sandor's the guy.
Sorry.
Andor Creative is the company.
Andor. Okay, that's where I got. Okay.
Or Andor.
Fantastic though.
Yeah, Andor
It was
Creative
great.
out of Ohio or something is.
And Kevin Sikaner.
Yeah, he was friend. That was the connection there.
Yeah.
So like I don't know, like that, like for me, I want to do things that reach. I don't want to isolate. I want to reach people.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we talk about it too much on this podcast, but honestly, like how I behave in public and everything, I want to reach people that maybe aren't following us or aren't following people with dwarfism or anyone honestly different like that. And like I don't know, sometimes it's just how you behave. A Facebook post is nice for your circle of friends, but all your circle of friends are all posting the exact same thing.
Right.
So it's like the awareness is where's the awareness of the and that's why I'm a big guy on media. Like Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Like it's like that stuff matters. That is huge for conversations within households outside of your Facebook friend group or Instagram followers. You know what I'm saying? Like what so if we're talking about awareness, how are we making things aware to people outside our circles that aren't friends with someone with dwarfism?
That's good, babe.
And it's obsession with like no matter how much we do, there's always going to be some a-hole out there.
Oh yeah,
someone that just wants to rattle. And it's like we can't look for this utopia of perfection either. We can't obsess over that.
Right.
And honestly, for me, don't show them that bothers you. Like that just fuels that fire.
Yeah.
We can't. Which is fine. Some people are like, oh, it's like no reality. You cannot make an utopia where everyone is perfect angels. Right. And our world is already screwed up in a lot of different ways. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think morally we're very, so it's to then expect everyone to be kind to people with dwarfism. It sucks, but it's, so That's why I obsess over more my kids, not how other people are going to treat them. How are you acting and how are you going to handle it's within, you know what I'm saying? Like telling our kids like, hey, resilience, all those things, because the world you're not going to find,
nice.
no matter how much you and I do, you're not going to find a utopia out there just because people are jerks. Even if they are aware, they have awareness, they're aware of the fact, they can still be.
And I think that maybe also ties back into a little bit of why I personally don't always share, because I think sometimes I don't think about it in the same way that other people do. Because just like you said, I want our kids to build a community that's going to help them be confident and be able to take on the world. And for me, that community is right here in Battleground, Washington. Like
100%.
that's where I put my energy most of the time. Cause I'm like, I want our kids to foster relationships that are right in front of them and not across the country. And
totally.
And I think that that's maybe sometimes why I don't always share about it. Cause it's like, I'm so blinded by what's in front of me. Like that's what I'm focused on. And I'm not focused on and maybe later, that's like one of the beauties about seasons of life is maybe later on in life, like we become louder advocates for everything, or our kids become advocates.
More in a national way.
But I have a 2-year-old right now that I'm just trying to keep from hurting himself, or we have just so many other things right in front of us that we are focused 100%. On currently. And
that was a big question, Tori.
I know that took up most of my time, my Lanta.
No, I don't judge anyone that does do that or anything. That's the thing.
I just caution people who do. And I'm talking specifically to average height moms.
You can post something.
Too controversial?
No, you can post something right now and go outside into the toy section at Target and right? Is that what you're saying? I'm saying some people I did my awareness, the world's fixed, and then no, walk right outside and it's still there.
Oh yeah.
So don't think that this is going to actually.
Also, yes, you're right.
Don't think this is actually changing. It's
helping
it can help
change
people.
One person's mind, or if you educate one person, that it's worth your time. It's in my mind. I'm speaking more though to the average height moms who have a child with dwarfism, who it becomes their identity. I just caution those moms. And I think moms can do this in all aspects of life. I think that your kids become who you are. And I would just caution moms who are average height with kids with dwarfism that don't let it become your identity. Don't obsess over your child's diagnosis. You know what I mean? I feel like I've said this multiple times, but I see it so much that these moms get together and all they talk about is what doctor's appointment. And maybe that brings them comfort and I'm just missing the mark.
Maybe we're the weird ones.
Maybe I am the weird one, but I've said it from the beginning. I never want our kids to feel like dwarfism is their identity. And I think when parents obsess over their diagnosis, it's the same thing with kids who have ADHD or kids who are on the spectrum, or kids that have behavior issues, that becomes their identity because their parents are speaking this truth into them that they then.
It's a balance, because one of the more interesting things about our kids, or later on, what's something that sets them apart. Kids obsess over setting themselves apart. They put pink hair, white hair. They do things that make them unique. Our kids are already unique.
Yeah.
And so then, but it's finding that balance of not making it your identity, but also lean into what God gave you.
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's important.
Daniel says this, be your light, but it is just, there's not, that's why I'm saying I don't judge anyone that does do this. I just haven't thought about it.
It's just
but it is a balance.
But also at the same time, it's not my identity. I am literally sitting in a family right now where I am the only average height person and all of my family is little. And that's not my identity. That's not who I am.
Yeah.
I'm not the tall one, or, I don't obsess over you guys, I guess, and so that's, I guess my point is I'm still me, and I am still carrying on my own life and not getting lost in what our whole family is doing,
Totally.
I've seen so many moms that I feel like they're kind of lost. They're kind of
this, I'm going to say something, this
uh-oh.
It is. I just thought of this actually. Like there are people with even in like that we come in contact with that like think a certain way or say a certain thing, you know, and like with Jackson, and it's like, man, and maybe I get to it. I do sometimes get to a sad place because I'm like, man, you would say that um with Jackson being in like in our group or like
Mm-hmm.
you're aware of him, you're aware of me, Jackson and Lila and Josiah, you're aware of all of us. You know, and you would still say something like that,
Hmm. The
and like,
unawareness of our
yes, and then
differences.
it's like, man, so some fact is like there's a heart issue there than just some information.
Yeah.
There's some. Do you get what I'm trying to say here? I'm trying to be
Yeah.
like subtle with it, but like there are times where I'm like, man, you just said that out loud, like when we're
Right.
like, which I'm not a huge one to get
Because
super offended.
I think that people though are like I sympathize in that situation because I sometimes feel like people get in their own way, like they're in their own thought process in
Yeah,
their own bubble, and they don't really pick their head up to like
yeah,
look at who they're talking
yeah.
to. And it's I don't think malicious, but it's just not very self-aware. Like,
Yeah,
you
you
know,
have really close friends, really, really close friends. I'm not gonna say their names, but when I first came into the picture, there was an awareness, and then all of a sudden there was a reflection, and then certain things were decided we're not gonna say that
oh
anymore.
yeah,
Do you get what I'm saying
I
though?
know who
Like
you're talking
it's,
about.
but to me,
Right.
that's awareness, and that's just
Right.
like,
They were educated in one moment of
yeah,
meeting
and
you
it was a
and
self awareness. It was
yes.
also like a, you know,
But I think that in the case and like I think that
that's genuine awareness.
I understand
Yeah.
your point,
I
but
don't want anyone to
I'm
change because I tell you to change. If you're not
mhm.
gonna change by, like, just being aware,
Yeah.
it's very difficult for me,
And
like,
but I think that that's the problem though is in those scenarios where people say things like that, it's again, I don't think it's malicious. It's like them venting or them like talking about their own insecurities or their kids' insecurities
yeah,
or and it comes out in that way.
yeah,
If you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
and I don't know. I almost would disagree with you saying like be more because I don't want people to walk on eggshells
You're
around
right.
me. Like
Yep.
I don't want people to like not say like I get it all the time. Moms will be talking about like, oh, Sally grew 3 inches this month, and like, oh, they're getting so tall,
You're
and none of
right.
these pants fit.
I stand
But then
corrected.
they'll look at me and be like, oh crap, like are you okay? And I want to just be like, I'm good. Like you don't need to
You're
adjust
100%
your
right.
but
You're wrong.
I get what you're talking about because I feel like you're in a season of life currently that's just a little frustrating.
Yeah.
But overarching theme, like don't walk on eggshells around
No,
us.
100%.
Be like you're like more talking about like be aware of how you talk about other people. And that's way more important than like watch what you say around us. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If you make fun of someone else that has something,
Then yeah.
I know what, like, from, I don't know, maybe I'm becoming sensitive in my old age,
Maybe
but,
you
like,
are.
I'm like,
Roloff's
or
getting
with just
emotional.
being a dad, though, too, but it's like,
And
dude,
you're
you don't
protective.
are
You're
you not
protective of your
connecting the
kids.
dots there? Like,
Yeah.
which is totally cool, but, like, if there's not gonna be a heart change, a natural heart change just by being around us, then, like, for me, like, I don't know, anyways, I'm never gonna tell someone, "Don't say that. Don't be
Yeah.
mean."
Don't be
Honestly, and a lot of, like, people, like, some people, "What are you gonna do about it?" "Oops, now you're in a stinker." You know what I'm saying? Like, what
yeah.
am I gonna do about it? So
Right.
it's like, honestly, like, I just ignore those people, move on, and or just turn the other cheek, like,
Yeah.
and like maybe that will have, or someone around them would be like, "Hey, man," like, I look at a lot of like dudes. I look at more dudes, but like
Yeah.
honestly, people that have self control and like, which I don't have great self control all the time. Don't get me wrong here, but
He does
like
have very good self control
there
though.
are times when like I think in public, I present myself in a good way, and like
Mm-hmm.
some of these guys like are quick to do that. I'm like, well, again, it's 21st century. The strongest, tallest person in the room isn't actually
Yeah.
that great. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, how are you like with self control, awareness, leading a group? You know, how are you representing? Like, are you
Yeah.
someone that we can lean on if, say, like guys fantasize about stupid stuff all the time, like shit really hit the fan right now. What would I do? You know, where would
Yeah.
I run? You know, would I fight back? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
And who would do that, like, and sometimes it's not the tallest person, strongest person in the room, so people that have strong you know mental they have their mentals in place.
Yeah.
So
I envy those people.
yeah. Anyway, can I ask you a question? We have 10 minutes left.
Ask me a question.
I don't have a deep question like that.
Okay,
but
we'll do a fun one then. Who cares? See a ladybug on the ceiling. That's good luck.
What excites you? What excites you about
excites me?
Like this season of life, or like what are you looking forward to? That's literally what I was gonna ask you.
That's what you were gonna. That was we both said we're like, come to the podcast today with a question to ask each other.
Like, what do you look forward to in the next 3 months, 6 months? Is there like a overarching?
I'm really looking forward to the holidays. I love the holidays.
Yeah.
I'm excited for Halloween to be over because it's my least favorite holiday. And then like start the real holidays, like Thanksgiving and Christmas. And I'm excited for that. I'm excited though, too. I'm excited because I feel like I'm turning over a new leaf in my life where I'm just like content. Like I don't have these like I want to go to Idaho this weekend. Yes, but like I don't have these like I don't want to go anywhere. She wants
to go to Scotland next fall.
I do want to go to Scotland.
And she wants to go to Disneyland in January.
No, but that's the thing. I don't really want to go to January. I don't. No, Zach has given me every...
Say that louder. You don't want to go to Disneyland?
Indication that next month our friends are going to Disneyland, and he's given me every indication that like, let's go. Like, let's do it. And no, I'm the one that's January. Like, you want to go in January?
Because that's when the...
If the Greenwalds go in January, Greenwalds, if you're listening, then yes, we will do that. But I'm kind of in this space that I'm like, I'm not really like hopping on a plane right now with our family. I'm not really like in that, because even and Disneyland, honestly, with the Greenwalds is just a different. That's something that we've never experienced in our marriage, and that's just something I really need you to experience. But I'm also like, if it wasn't for them, I don't think I would be going.
So outside of those 3 trips. Super content.
Stop, get out of here. But I am just like, I'm excited to just like be at home. And I love when you start doing fires and, we can just cozy up and be at home. It'll be fun.
What have you been disappointed or like, is there anything like that's like kind of been disappointing? Not like an event, a specific, something, the kids did something like, are you like, oh man, I wish this was different. I know you just spoke about contentment.
Wow. Something different. I don't know. I don't know that I don't know. I think I've been struggling with relationships the last couple of months. And that's like something that I want to improve with.
Yeah.
I think I've come to the realization, I talked about it on the last episode, or the one that just came out, I guess, but talking about how I'm not a very good friend sometimes. Like, not intentionally. It's not like I'm mean, but I'm not always the first one to call a friend or check up on a friend. And I think I could be better about that. Because I'm learning in my older age that like women especially care about stuff like that. Like they care if you're thinking about them so just trying to be a better friend.
Love it.
Would you agree or disagree?
Oh, that's great. It's about you. It's not about me. It's about like, what are you thinking in your head?
Yeah. I don't know. That like, I've always kind of struggled with girl relationships my whole life. Yeah. I have like my 2 best friends that I have been friends with since elementary school that I'm constant, like those girls will always be a part of my life. But I think in my adulthood, I struggle with like, I don't know, being a good friend.
Yeah.
Being attentive. And I think like the 2 friends that I have from elementary school, they're like my low maintenance friends that I don't have to talk to for 6 months, but then they come to our house and it's like we never were apart, but relationships are hard as you get older.
Do you have any goals like you want to see like by like next spring, next summer?
I really want to go to the Outlander season 8 premiere. I don't know. I don't know.
All right, that's
it. I'm sorry.
I want Jackson to be able to tie his own shoes.
Oh my gosh. And what's the other one? Tie his shoes and ride a bike.
Yeah.
Those Jackson are 2 things that I think we're a little behind on as parents.
You don't even know this. I've put railroad ties all over this property. Do you know why I've done that?
Why?
Even when I rode a bike back in the day, I had to like put my foot on rocks, railroad ties. Like I was until I was like, got my custom bike. Even then it was difficult when I was 13. That takes a lot of leg power to like balance on, and then like you can't get off the bike.
Yeah.
So I'm saying like I've like set this property up now to like Jackson needs to learn how to ride a bike.
He needs to learn how to ride a
And there's
bike.
plenty of little foot stops now everywhere that he can stop, rest,
Love it.
push off again. You know, he needs to
We
learn how to
gotta
ride
do
a
it.
bike,
And tie his shoes.
tie his shoes. Josiah should be coming out of diapers by in the spring, right?
Oh my gosh.
Josiah, potty trained Josiah
That bathroom's already so gross. I can't even imagine adding a third kid to it.
and a boy. Josiah needs to get potty trained.
Potty train.
Lila's kind of on a roll right now.
I know. What's Lila's goal? We gotta get her in soccer.
Oh,
Is she gonna do spring soccer? No, she'll do fall soccer.
Yeah, okay. I want to get her in spring. She's asking me about it, but like spring soccer is just not a great time to start.
I know. No. And we're
Because
gonna
everyone that might be on your
and...
team won't be on your team in the fall.
Yeah.
Like start in the fall.
Yeah.
And then get a good group, you know.
She's gonna die though. You as her coach, she's gonna be in heaven. Oh my gosh, she's gonna have so much fun.
I've already thought like I've never coached
What's
girls.
your goal?
Oh man.
What's your goal personally?
I want Lila to do fall soccer.
No, your goal.
I don't know. I need to get busier.
Get busier.
Aren't
we pretty busy?
I need to get busier. I think mentally. It's an ongoing thing, work. You know, I think we both obsess over like not what's a job. I need to get a job, but like a job that's like not social media behind the camera. So something that's behind the camera, whether that's an office job, whether that's finding something else to sell, but not something that's like so intensive on our faces. Yeah. And how we like kind of going back to the beginning of the episode, but like, you know, us, our kids, right. Like, finding a job, like not just this is a great job and everything, like gives us a lot, you know, but like emotionally, you know, I think we need
to come to work with me every day.
I think we need to find like a change there eventually. And I could see in 6 months, like, you know,
right.
I said that when the show ended, you know, is something going to come around? I've kind of been waiting. I haven't put myself out there that hard, but like opportunities, not social media opportunities and not like inviting me to a podcast. Like, no, opportunities like job opportunities that don't have anything to do with Little Big World. And
you want to feel like you're contributing to society, not just like social media. Like you want to feel like you're
and I just look to the future. Like I know this could like end
be gone tomorrow.
Yeah, be gone tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know, or
and
like
that's scary. Like that's and that's why I think it's important that you
look at actors, big actors.
Yeah.
There's only like a handful that consistently, some actors, I look up an actor, I'm like, you're like 80 years old. Where have you been? And then you realize they had their first feature film when they're like 60.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they had it, or you look at other actors that like they were in all these movies in their 20s and 30s, and then you haven't seen them.
Disappear.
And then they pop up again when they're 50. But it's like, what'd you do for the last 20 years? And it's seasons of life. Or like in the media industry, I think like some people peak, you know?
Oh, 100%.
And then like it does, the next person comes,
like, where do we go? And
because you don't have the same fight as all these newcomers coming up, because you've already kind of hit that comfort zone, and then you have new demands. Right. Unless you're good, you're replaceable.
Yeah.
You get my point? Is like
that's super depressing, but very true.
Yeah. Or just like it
reminds me though, like I feel like that's why people do podcasts. Like I just found this new podcast with Jake Short and Bradley Perry.
Yeah.
I think is his name. Anyway, they're from like Disney Channel back when I was watching like Good Luck Charlie.
Yeah.
All like old school Disney.
I feel like podcasts help people stay relevant. Yeah. And like they stay in the circles.
But they've disappeared, and then all of a sudden I found them recently on Instagram, and I'm like, where have you guys been? Like you guys are hilarious. They, you know, so
yeah, no, that's my goal. Like in 6 months, 7 months, like is there
what's the plan?
Yeah,
Stan?
hopefully, you know, right before summer. Yeah. Is there more of a
you need
like is there a goal? Is there like something that's like just a little bit more stable?
Yeah.
And like
I would appreciate that.
But usually that comes with less like money, you know?
Well, hey, we're okay though.
We're okay, but I'm saying like there's balances.
Don't look at me.
To all that.
I'm like, I'm riding the wave, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, you are.
Here we go.
I don't know. That would be my goal.
Anyway, well, that's a good goal. What's that reel that's right now though? We've looked over the budget, and it would be in everyone's best interest if I just died.
Yeah.
If I just went away.
Or the one where he's filming his wife and he goes, "Do you ever look at your wife and just go, damn," but then scroll to the front porch and there's a pile of Amazon packages?
Hit me.
Yeah.
Hit me. I'm sorry.
I look at you all the time.
Okay?
There's no damn.
I'm like, damn it.
All right, let's close this one up.
Well, I do my best and I forget the rest. Okay.
Yeah, you do. So.
Well, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us, being here. Thank you. What?
Do your best and forget the rest, but don't keep forgetting the same thing over and over again. You have to find improvement. Okay?
Take away my Amazon Prime membership, please.
Yeah, okay. So like if you just keep doing your best and forgetting the rest.
In my defense, though, it's half the time I like order groceries and I go, darn it, I forgot laundry detergent. And then it's just on Amazon. You can just order it and it just shows up at your front door the next day. Anyway, thanks for being here. Make sure you follow us on YouTube, Instagram, subscribe to all the places you listen to podcasts. Do your best. Forget the rest.